Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Time Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Drocella. I am so excited to have her with me today. How are you, my sister?
I am fantastic. How are you,
I
Vera?
am great. I am so glad that you're here. And let me share with our audience a little bit about Drocella Mugorewera. Did I say that right? I was close.
Was
Okay.
close.
Okay. A testament of enduring courage. Drocella is the founder of the Diversity in Action Global Movement, and she is a number one best-selling author and creator of the Diversity in Action Framework. Raised in Rwanda, Drusilla won a scholarship to the National University of Life and Environmental Sciences in Kiev, Ukraine. Returning, she became a member of parliament and government, contributing to significant changes, including gender equality. Her safety in jeopardy in 2008, Drusilla fled Rwanda alone, bravely beginning life anew in America. There, the unstoppable leader received acclaim as the executive director of Bridge Refugee Services. Now a diversity consultant and international speaker, Drocella helps companies eliminate employee turnover, fuel productivity, and save money, which is the bottom line. However, we recognize that a company's most valuable asset are their employees. So even though they look at the bottom line, employee relations is so critical. So let me ask you, I know that you're getting ready to do a summit, which I am excited about because I will be a part of this summit. And I'm pulling up now this is only a few of the speakers that you have scheduled. You have 15 speakers scheduled. And the topic of the summit is Employee Retention Revolution Summit. So, my question to you is share a little bit now. You've been here before and you've shared your story and your journey. Based on your story and your journey and your experience in government and parliament, how has that shaped you to do the work that you're doing?
First of all, thank you for having me, Vera, and for creating this platform where people come, learn, and share and play. As you know, as a transplant refugee from Rwanda, I am here because of persecution and oppression based on my ideas. And that inspired me to create this diversity in action global movement, because employees, as you said, are the greatest asset for the organizations. And we have to create places where everybody feel welcome. They have a safe space where they can exchange their ideas. And it took me 7 years to feel like I was welcomed and trusted to be a leader in my community, my new community. I'm grateful that America gave me a chance to live and serve. But as I say, it couldn't take me 7 years because of my experience and perspective. I could have transferred that immediately without delay. But I am here to help companies to eliminate employee turnover, because they say that employee retention will be a high priority for the next 5 years. Do we have to wait until there? No. This is why I said, how can I contribute to the solutions for that employee turnover problem? And then I gathered other 15 speakers on the top of me to talk about reasons why employees don't stay and how to fix it. And one of the reasons is not having a diversity and inclusion system, because it
Yes,
is shown that companies who are more diverse and inclusive, they are more performant and they are getting more profits. And this is what we want every company to save money on hiring and rehiring. And they say that employees are leaving their managers, they are not leaving their jobs. So how do we contribute to fix that? This is why
I
you and the other speakers will bring those solutions on the table.
and see, I like that when you said employees are leaving their managers, not their jobs. And that's because so many managers lack emotional intelligence. And as a result of that lack of emotional intelligence, they are not treating their employees well at all. And so, talk about some of the topics that impact employee retention.
Let's talk about the first one you are talking about. You are here, bullying at the workplace.
Yes,
Sometimes the bullies do not even know that they are bullying others. I remember when I was an executive sometimes, and I was somebody reported being bullied, and then when I talked to the person who was bullying, she said, "No, I'm not bullying her." So anti-bullying is something that we don't have to have bullies at all. It's tolerance zero at the workplace.
absolutely. And what people, when we define bullying, first of all, it's consistent, and it's constant. It's something. Now, if a person mistreats you one day and then they're nice to you another day, that does not necessarily mean that they have bullied you. But if you are constantly being barraged with all this negativity from any particular person, then bullying is more than likely the case. I had written a poem, and it's really how I'm going to start my presentation um, at this summit, that I'd like to share because it addresses the issue of bullying as it relates to employees. So here it is. Small minds, the kind sit around and gossip all the time. Who's doing what? Did it win? Not the kind I would call my friend. Average minds discussing things, houses, cars, material gain. Great minds move the earth, discussing things of value, of worth, ideologies of past and present, realizing dreams with the mind's consent. Great minds, it takes one to know. These minds help all minds grow. And so when we talk about bullying, gossiping is a form of bullying because you're hurting other people by all this back talk, talking about people behind their backs. There are three basic types of individuals in the workplace that can wreak havoc and create turnover and cause for toxic environments. And during the course of my presentation, I'll be talking about those three in particular, gossiping being one of them. And there's ways to shut it down. Shut it down. When people are being bullied, the best way to deal with a bully is to confront them. And you can do it without being a bully yourself. You can do it in a calm, factual, evidential manner, not attacking them. Why are you treating me this way? No. When you did this and this happened, it impacted me and it's got to stop. But anyway, I'll let you.
Okay. So we are in B's, burnout. Burnout is another element of making people quitting their managers, because at many places there is a shortage of employees, and you cannot do much if they don't care about your behavior health, so you cannot stay longer over there. And we have a speaker who will talk about how do you move from burnout to brilliance and or bliss. So changing those situations, the challenges. We are about changing the challenges and the problems into possibilities. And we will give actionable strategies, and there will be practices. Also, I have another speaker who will talk about computer vision syndrome. You see, we are on the screen most of the time now, people working on laptops, and that kills our eyes. This expert will share what leaders and employees can do to protect their eyes, because their eyes are precious.
Beautiful.
Another person will talk about behavior insight, behavior match, because it's good to have a position, but you have to have somebody who fits in that position. Leadership, positivity. We were talking about how do you lead with excellence and positivity. That is crucial because, as you know, they say everything lays on leadership. You have to be a leader no matter the circumstances. You have to lead with positivity, because the negativity is like cancer. It's like having cancer cells in your body, and you vomit and you tell the words that are killing instead of healing. So yeah, our word can heal and they can kill. So we have to have that environment where people are positive.
Absolutely. And the thing is, the leader sets the tone.
Yes.
Whether it's the leader of a company or whether it's the leader of a country. And leadership determines everything else. And where our country is concerned, I do want to say that if we can bring joy back into the White House, then we're going to find joy permeating among all of us. We have had this bullying, the name calling, the character assassinations, and all of those things go on in the workplace. And you cannot sustain and be productive and be happy in your work when you got leaders that are berating you, downing you, criticizing you on a constant base. It just does not work. And I see that one of the speakers have shown up. Hello, Kenyatta. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Vera, for having me. Hi, Drocella.
Hi,
Kenyatta. I'm so excited that you're here. And we're talking about the summit. We've mentioned that one of the issues we'll be addressing is bullying. Another that we will be addressing has to do with burnout. And then we talked about the leadership. because the leader sets the tone. So, Kenyatta, tell us a little bit about you and how you are in this space,
Yes.
what you do, and what impact are you making?
Absolutely. So, hello, everyone. My name is Kenyatta Turner. I'm the CEO and founder of Freedom Empire Consulting. And my hashtag is Behavior Matters. And why I say that is because everything I do comes from a scientifically based behavioral lens. So, initially, all the clients I work with, leaders, employees, doesn't matter the size of the organization, and individuals, they take a behavioral assessment that gives me and them insights into who they are at their core. And we can predict that at a rate of 97.1%. So, what that means is that if you're an employee, we know how you're going to show up 97.1% of the time. If you're a leader, we know that same information. And so that's really the starting point for everything that I do when I work with my clients, especially in corporations, is the employees will take the behavioral assessment, all the leaders and the executives will take it. And I basically do behavioral SWOT analysis with that individual. And then I do behavioral TOES analysis, which is the strategic side once we have the data. So we start with that to help decrease employee retention because we are creating behavioral alignment from the beginning. And that's usually what companies do not know and understand how to do.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And, behavior now, is this an instrument that you developed yourself or is it one?
I did not. I did not develop it, but my partners that I work with did, and they created it over 30 years ago. And when they did that, millions of people have taken it and they've been able to get it validated in 125 countries and in 11 different languages. So
And
they've done that enough to where they know the accuracy rate is 97.1%.
that is awesome. And that would be a great tool because I work with people that are seeking employment. That's
Yeah.
one of the 9 to 5s that I have that I'm doing.
Just one?
And it would be invaluable to have that instrument to give to our clients before they get a job because
Yes.
again we have a lot of turnover, we have people not staying on jobs, and if we can ascertain those kinds of behaviors before we send them on a job and then
Yes.
help them recognize, hey, these are some things that we see that may be impacting on your employment, may be impacting on your life. I would like to talk to you more about how we can make that assessment available.
Yeah, I love using the tool for my career development clients because it gives data into, again, it's about how you already do things, right? Your zone of genius is based on what's already wired within you. We can just measure it. So we give them a list. It comes with a list of things. These are the things you're built to do in this order. And if you are looking for a job that's out of alignment of what you're already built to do, it doesn't mean you can't get the job or won't do the job or won't even be successful in the job. However, there's a lifespan on that, right? It's really, you're taking a square peg and you're grinding it into a round hole. You can do that, but it's bloody. It takes a long time. It's painful. There's splinters, right? So I'm like, let's get the round peg, which is your behavioral data, and let's make sure that the jobs you're applying for are in alignment because A, it's probably going to help you get the job. B, you'll be happy actually doing the job, which means you'll be even more successful.
Exactly.
Right? C, you can grow and thrive in that job.
Exactly.
And when you wake up in the morning, you know, the excitement that you have about doing it is because you're doing what you're built to do. It doesn't have anything to do with the mission statement of the company. And I'll say that all day to people. Look, companies, are you listening? Yeah, write your mission statement, but that's not why people show up and stay in your job.
Absolutely.
And companies, if you're listening, it's not your job to motivate your team, even though you spend hours sitting around talking about how to motivate the team. Stop it.
You got to have that. You can. It's got to be intrinsic.
It's intrinsic.
You got to have that intrinsic. And, having been involved in career development for a long
Mhm.
time and looking at values, interests, skills, personality type, hobbies, all those things play into being successful in the work environment. So I
Correct.
do use a lot of assessments when working with my clients, the work, the inventory, the values inventory,
Sure.
so that they know, because most people will tell you what's most important to them on their job is making money. However,
It's not.
we all know that that is not necessarily the case. And when you
Mm.
consider a job is one third of your life, if it is not, if you're not thriving in your work, then chances are you're not thriving in your life,
True.
because it impacts on how you eat, how you sleep, how you interact with yourself, and how you interact with other people. And so being able to come up with a job that will tie in with who you are and what's important
Yes.
to you, and those, your personality and all that, it is invaluable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drusilla,
Yes. If I wanted to talk, thank you.
Go
This
ahead.
is
I'm
why,
quiet.
I have 16 speakers aligned. You can see 3 women here. I have 3 men. I have speakers coming from UK, Canada, and USA. So I have different ages. I have men, women. So I hired diverse group of wonderful and powerhouse speakers. I wanted to talk about bringing the joy in the business. There is a book I read about the joy in the business by Joy Baldridge. And this is why among the speakers, we will have a comedian, we'll have a humorist. How do you bring humor? And her topic is Humor Unites. And you will see the music, even the alignment about our topics, because one of the sub pillars of the diversity in action system is about unity. People are now divided. We have to see as human being what is unifying us, because at the workplace, when you have division, when you don't have unity, there is no productivity, and people will start to be bullied and they will leave. So Vera, I wanted to comment and say, yes, on the list of the speakers, there are people, 2 speakers who will talk about the joy. Your Ilam will talk about loving every minute of your time or losing every minute of your time. How do you cherish and love in every minute of your time, being an employer or an employee? So we want to have that win-win and that joy and that environment where you have excitement, you enter in and you smell love.
yes, and I have to say, I'm in that kind of environment right now. You know,
Amen.
I really am. Everyone here is just really committed to what they're doing. You can hear the laughter, going on throughout the day. There's nothing like joy. There's nothing like being in a job that you are valued and appreciated, and that you can say the same about your coworkers, lifting each other up, supporting each other, being encouraging, but the leader sets the tone. And I must
Mhm.
say, the executive director here is amazing, very enthusiastic, very, and the sky is the limit,
Mm.
and it's just a wonderful experience. Now, we've all been in work environments where that was not the case,
Mhm.
where I remember being in a job and getting sick and
Mm.
leaving that job bent over. I got to my car and had to brace myself because I couldn't drive. I crawled
Mm.
from the car to my door, and then went to the hospital where it was found that I had colitis, which is a nervous condition of your intestines based on stress. And
Wow.
so, I mean, I was confined to baby food and bland foods for several months to get my intestines and my stomach back in order from a job. And at the time, I was 19 years old, and I swore I will never, ever allow any job to impact me to the point where I got sick. And that's one of the reasons that I do this work as well, because I see what's happening in the workplace. I've been a victim of bullying and missed injustices and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we as people of color, oftentimes we find that to be the case. That's why so many of us end up having our own businesses, because of what we've experienced in the workplace. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, and following on that, as coaches and speakers and entrepreneurs, you hear this story from many that many left the job they hated, or others are still working in jobs that they don't like because
And they're
of
sick.
to survive.
And they're sick. I'm telling you,
Yes.
they are sick. They're having some kind of physical, mental,
Yes.
emotional issue. I promise you.
And we need those employees and workers. Everybody will not become an entrepreneur. So this is why collaboratively, how do we create those environments where everybody enjoys and champions each other, and you go to work and you go out of the office and tomorrow you want to come back, because this is why the employee turnover is over and over and over and over. So collaboratively, as speakers, we give those solutions and some practices. We are talking about behavior health, the traumas even you get from work. You know, those things cannot be promoting a productive environment. So we have another speaker who will talk about the traumas effect and how, to manage those traumas.
Yeah, there's so many factors. And those of you who are watching right now, you want to make sure you are at this summit, like all the things that Drocella is talking about. There's so many facets that go into gaining and retaining top talent, right? You have to start by getting the right people in the first place and having the clarity on who it is you even need and what's really truly expected. And then bring on the right people that are in behavioral alignment with that. But you also have to create the culture around what I call behavioral diversity. Now, we talk about diversity a lot, and we talk about lots of different things that make up diversity. And what I'll speak in depth about is behavioral diversity, which many people don't even know what it is and don't know how to measure. So they are probably skewed in their behavioral diversity of the makeup of their teams. Because why? People hire people like them.
Yeah.
And that isn't necessarily what you should be doing, hiring managers and leaders and, because, but that's our natural tendency, right? And that may make sense in some regards, but if the person who is like you, if their job isn't your job, then you shouldn't be hiring someone just like you to do it. But we have the tendency to do that, right? So using objective behavioral science, you can really create diverse teams based on that information. Like, as an example, my behavioral style is called an influencer. It has nothing to do with social media. I always got to tell people that. I got 2 followers. Hey, follow me. You can be the 3rd, right? So, it's not about that. It was given that name 30 years ago. But imagine a whole team full of people like me. Now, that probably doesn't make any sense. Not just, it doesn't make sense to have a whole team of people who look like me, who are women like me, who are Black women like me. And it doesn't make sense to have a whole team of people who are influencers like me. It has nothing to do with me being a Black woman. Okay. It has everything to do with how I make decisions and how I communicate and all the things that go into the data. So if companies aren't thinking about those types of things, that's also leading them down the road of having discourse. And the last thing I'll mention is that there's a phrase I'll dig into as well called behavioral bias. That causes communication issues as well as bullying, Vera, and things, because if you don't truly understand yourself, then it's likely, to what Drocella mentioned about love, if you don't truly understand yourself, it's likely that you have a deep level of self-love for yourself. But if you did have a deep level of understanding, which would turn into self-love, that love emanates from you and how you connect and deal with other people.
Absolutely.
You find that it's easier to love than it is to hate if you love yourself.
Yes.
And I believe that bullies ideally probably do not truly love themselves.
And in many cases, they've been bullied themselves.
And
you
so
know,
it's hard
and
to love.
right. And hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people. So,
Mhm.
so using a tool like this in that process, we spend so much time teaching the employees to love themselves.
Yeah.
When I
it's
talk about
critical.
DEI, I come in and I do behavioral DEI. I start with the assessment. I'm like, we're not talking about nothing else until you fall in love with yourself.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about other people.
Yeah. What is the name of that assessment?
I renamed it behavioral superpowers. I white labeled the
Okay.
tool and I call it behavioral superpowers. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Because that's fun. We all have them.
Right. And I have I developed a thing called misconceived behaviors, which impact home, schools, work,
Same here.
society, and like you said, if people don't recognize, awareness precedes change, and we can't change what we're not willing to acknowledge. And so once you become aware, then you have no excuse for being the way that you have been. We all can change. There's no such thing as I've been like this all my life, I can't change. We're changing every day.
You can't. But the key is, how hard is it to change?
Well, the thing is,
based on who you are, and that's all we measure. We're like, okay, you can change, but you need to understand from where you are changing from.
Right. And
have clarity.
Absolutely. But even when it's difficult to change, we're changing anyway. We're either changing by moving forward or we're changing by moving back. There's no such thing as standing still. So being able to move forward, Drocella, I'm seeing your brain.
Yes. Talking about change, one of the speakers will talk about coaching for change, because it has been proven that organizations who have a robust mentorship and coaching program, they retain their employees. So you see, all is in alignment, and I like to call it music and mosaic, because you see how it does align with whatever we are talking about. And also, when we are talking about love, there is another speaker who will talk about how do we manage fears. Sometimes you hire not matching employees because you have fear of something. And also employers can have fear to hire external experts like you and I and many others. So that speaker will address those issues, and she will address issues sometimes when inherited that affected generation and
generation. I'm telling you, we got to go to a commercial, and then we'll be right back. So give me 1 minute. Let me pull this.
I love
Mama Knows creates high quality products that are available to be used on multiple textures of hair. Her goal is to bridge the gap to stop people from having to use multiple products because of families with multiple hair types. Her products are currently being used on men, women, children of all ethnicities. Mama Knows products are available at www.mamaknowsproducts.com. That's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Mama Knows Products, because Mama knows what you need.
Let me tell you about these products. These products, they smell great, they work wonderfully, and they are shampoos, conditioners, hair serums, hair growth solutions, and all kinds of products. And again, they smell wonderful and they work. So you want to check out mamaknowsproducts.com. Why? Because Mama knows what you need. So check her out. All right.
I'm glad we talked about mamas, because one of the speakers will talk about return investment on working with working parents. Because when we are inclusive, some employees are caregivers, they are parents. So when you invest in them, we have to go beyond the job description and performance. You have to make sure that you are empathetic with every employee. You know them, you know their needs, and then you will agree on how to perform. It doesn't mean that you have to show up from 8 to 5, but as a human being, you have to know the people you work with and their family issues that will affect the productivity. So that lady also will talk about the return investment and investing in working parents. And we talk about elders, disabled people. How do you include all those ones at the workplace? And then finding and creating programs that uplift them and
Yes.
support them.
Yeah. And it is so important to incorporate, like you said, for parents and, especially single parents, whether they're single males or single females, trying to work a full time job and yet having to be concerned with what's happening with my child after school, what's happening with my child before school. I mean, I've got a client right now. She just got a job. And, but she's got a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old. She can't leave them at home. So and for if companies, and I just feel, if there's a change in our government, I just feel that we're going to see more family friendly environments and workplaces so that parents can have a sense of relief knowing I'm out here making a living, but there are things that's happening for my children as well.
And we have to remember that more babies mean more businesses. Imagine a world without new babies. How can we sustain these businesses and this society? And we are talking about. So there is a new regulation that is requiring to support pregnant women, and I applaud that regulation, because if we don't have babies, there are no business to come.
I love it.
Youth.
I love it. I
No
love
babies.
it. No babies, no business. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So,
I have, okay, go ahead.
and we talk about the belonging. I have another speaker who will talk about creating a space, a workplace where you feel you belong.
Yes.
Because sometimes I cannot tell you how many people ask me where your accent is from, as if all of us don't have an accent. So you have to be in that environment where you feel like you are a contributing factor, and then also they are contributing and they are championing you day in and day out. So I'm glad that this person will talk about creating a community where you champion each other, where you feel like you belong, where you feel like you can support, you can ask a question without saying, can I ask this question?
Right, right. Well, listen, we want to encourage you, those of you that are listening and those of you that are going to catch the replay, you want to sign up for this summit. If you are an employee, you want to sign up for this summit. If you are an employer, you want to sign up for this summit. If you are a leader of any kind, you want to sign up for this summit. And you can go to bit.ly/employee retention revolution. Employee retention revolution. You want to be here and hear, I mean, just from this conversation here on this show, I can tell it is going to be power packed. It is going to educate, motivate, inspire, uplift, and encourage. Okay.
Yes. So I cannot agree no more with what you say, because as we said, these are the practical solutions we will deliver. We were talking about the computer vision syndrome. Somebody who is an expert will show you how to deal with these computers. And then Other people will talk about the behavior, the leadership. So the stars are aligned for you and your staff members to make sure that you really are on the top of employee turnover. You can make more money, you can make more profit, and you can create a win-win work environment, because the top-down model or framework is no longer working. So we are partners in all of this.
Yes, yes, yes. So I am just excited about this conference. And again, you do not you do not want to miss this. You do not want to miss this. So go to bit.ly employee retention revolution. Do it now. Register now. Register now.
And
Right now.
share and
Yeah.
share and share. The
And
more you
share.
share, the more you share, the more impact we are. You never know. You will find a solution that you have been looking for decades. And I guarantee you that the results will start in the Zoom room. They will
Yes.
start in the Zoom room.
Yes.
Because every speaker will share the tips that you can apply within the Zoom room and immediately after you leave the summit, and
Yes.
bring your staff members, because it will be helping you to gain and save money. If you are a team of 4 or 5 leaders and you are listening the message at the one time, so you don't have to retrain other people. So I encourage you, the listeners, to share this message so we can have more participants to this summit. It will
And
not
how
help.
much?
Mhm.
How
It's a
much is?
free. It's a free
And
event.
it's free. It's free. It's
Free
free.
event.
It's free.
Yes,
Come on, you guys.
yes, it's free.
Every company should be attending this, and I'm definitely gonna do more promoting, even with companies that we're dealing with here, to
Yes.
get some of their staff to attend
Come.
this.
And we are not only working for this generation, we are investing for future generations, because the
Absolutely.
way you share with your children, young people, this is how they will perpetuate this culture. I was asking people, HR managers I met, and I say, what is your culture? And some were looking like this. And then they will give me a motto. And I say, if I ask
No.
you employees, will they say about the same way you say about the culture of the organization? So I encourage everybody to elaborate on your culture, because that culture is attracting people. You cannot say that you are not attracting people. You have to be attractive before. This is why I say having a diversity and inclusion commitment, a written one on your website, it does matter. Vera,
Yeah. Let's talk about culture for a minute, because when we talk about an organization's culture, you're talking about what do your employees as well as your external customers, what do they see when they walk into your building? That's a part of your culture. What kinds of pictures do you have hanging up? What kind of atmosphere do they feel? Because when people come into into a company, they can feel what's going on. And
Yeah.
so what are your customers, your internal customers being your employees, and your external customers? What do they see when they walk in the door? When we talk about culture, we're also talking about not just your artifacts and what is being seen, but what are your values? What are the espoused values? Now there's espoused values, and then there are the assumed values. And in many cases, they're different. They're not congruent. So
Yeah.
being able to look at, your artifacts, your purpose, your vision, your mission, all of that is a part of your culture. And is it congruent? Are these things as consistent as what people are seeing and how people are feeling and how people are relating and reacting in that workplace?
There's even the aspect, you're so right, of culture that people don't always think about as something that can be overlooked, like an email signature.
Yes.
And it being congruent across the organization. What is the message? Some people put quotes at the bottom of their email. Some people don't. Some people have a this or, and to outsiders who are getting those emails, you can look at an email from a company that can tell you a lot about the culture of that company. Are they putting inspiring things in the bottom of it? Is there a photo, aligned with it where they're showing their face so you can know who you're dealing with? Or is there no photo? Is there, is it just a black and white, just written text? Or are you using colors that align with the brand of the company? I mean, you can go on and on about just the email signature alone, how that absolutely creates a culture that sometimes gets overlooked. But when you see that it's mismatched, you notice it. Yeah. Because you're like, wait, you got an email from one person, then another, and they're not the same. You would notice that before you noticed that they were the same and you felt the same energy coming from them.
And yes,
that's culture too.
Yes. Culture. I mean, and the thing is, your culture can dictate the atmosphere and how employees interact and engage with each other. And again, we're not just talking about external customers. We're talking your internal, your employees, as well as your customer base. So culture is very, very important, and understanding that. Okay, I have another commercial. I can't believe that time is just really I know. But I gotta play another commercial. So
take your time.
And this one, I'm promoting this girl, but I'm gonna play one of her videos that promotes her company, but also talks about forgiveness, because that's very important in the workplace as well.
In a world where authenticity is the key, unlock your brand's potential with ADM's game-changing marketing solutions. We craft striking logos that embody your brand's spirit and build websites that captivate.
Forgiveness is a powerful tool for personal growth, allowing us to let go of resentment and move forward. The key to inner peace and emotional well-being. Apologies and forgiveness go hand in hand, creating space for healing and reconciliation. Inner work and willingness are essential in the process of forgiveness, requiring us to confront our own emotions and vulnerabilities. Taking a broader perspective on actions helps us understand the complexities of human nature and the impact of forgiveness on relationships. The journey of self-discovery is intertwined with forgiveness, leading us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Follow Divine Marketing Pro for more personal growth.
Divine Marketing. Let me tell you, that video is an example of how she touches lives through her marketing for companies. She does this for companies. And so you want to check out Ariel Chime, Authentic Divine Marketing. And you can go to bit.ly/Divine Chime. All right. Forgiveness.
Yes, forgiveness. I want to tell you, if I didn't forgive people who made me flee my country, losing everything I invested in for more than 40 years, I will not be living. And we have employees and employers who are moving with deep wounds.
Yes.
That healing process is needed in order for you to lead others. And another thing I wanted to emphasize is the power of vulnerability. I think leaders are not vulnerable enough to lead and to connect and to relate to their teams. So I know, Vera, your time is almost over, but I wanted to say that every leader who is still having things that hold them back have to go through the journey, because leading requires you to be somebody who will lead with example And sometimes you don't have to project your problems to your team. So this is what I wanted to say. It's powerful. It's necessary. For me, I say that forgiveness is a must. It's not a choice.
It is absolutely a must, because when you don't forgive, you're harboring all this negativity that's causing you to get sick, either physically, mentally, or emotionally. And the people that you need to forgive, they're getting on with their lives. They're not even thinking about you. They don't probably remember what they did to hurt you. And so forgiveness.
And also we have to forgive circumstances or events or leaders in general. So sometimes you forgive things that made you feel or hurt in a different way.
Yes. And we got Les Reed here. He's saying strife K. Okay, I'm not understanding what you're saying. If you have some other feedback or strife repair. Okay. He says repairs all opportunities that may arrive in others' lives, or blessings will come from another.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right? I guess I don't understand. Does he mean strife?
I think he means strife.
Maybe strife? Okay, maybe it's a typo. Okay, got it.
Yes. Strife repairs all opportunities that may arrive in others' lives. So strife, okay. Let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Let's unpack this for a minute. Okay. So, Les, are you saying that strife, if people are under, strife is a negative that can impact on a life. And so if we are repairing the strife, then the opportunity arises to bless others. Is that what you're saying? Help us understand.
Maybe that's what he's saying, because we were talking about forgiveness. So maybe he's saying if you repair that strife with forgiveness.
Yes.
So maybe that is what he's saying. So
okay, we got it.
Help us.
We got it. Wait, he's saying
clarify.
Strife repels. I'm using Google text voice text typing. I cannot read this text. My eyes need.
Okay, because he's been
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for responding, and thank you for clarifying. We appreciate that. Yes. Well, listen, I'm going to give each of you some final words. I do have another commercial I need to play. However, well, let me go ahead and play it.
You see the timing, Vera?
I know. I'm looking at the time. Let's see. This is 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Hallelujah.
Hey there. Jason McNamara here, and I'm about to drop something truly game-changing your way. Are you tired of the same old 9-to-5 grind? Feeling stuck in obtaining the life you deserve and craving something more? Well, listen up, because I've got something you will not want to miss. Introducing the No More 9-to-5 Club Professional Membership. Your ticket to freedom and success in the entrepreneurial world. With our professional membership, you'll get access to weekly coaching sessions, pre-recorded trainings, and a vibrant community of fellow game changers. You get access to technology that will allow you to automate passive income streams, as well as unlock all of our expert-led trainings in the back office so you know where to go for good advice when you need it. You will also use the club to build up a residual income stream with a 2-tier 33% affiliate commission unlocked at this level, allowing you to help people help themselves while generating a residual passive income stream for yourself. And here's the kicker. For a limited time, you can unlock all of this just for a $1.11 donation to our club foundation.
I like this one.
Your first month is on us. So what's holding you back? Click the link below, make your donation, and let's start building the life and business of your dreams together. Here at the No More 9-to-5 Club, we're all about turning dreams into reality and smashing through those glass ceilings.
That's what I'm talking about, Jake.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, we've got the tools and support you need to thrive and evolve. And don't forget to sign up for our bootcamp training. It's the perfect way to kickstart your journey and unlock even more perks. So what are you waiting for? Join the No More 9-to-5 Club today, and let's make those dreams a reality. I can't wait to see you on the inside. You only get one now. Invest it in your better future. Let's make magic happen together.
No more 9 to
Yes.
5. Let me tell you, No More 9 to 5 is a club that is a networking, for looking at ways of getting residual income. And you can join for $1.11 just to get a feel for it. And that money goes directly to veterans. So they also support veterans. If you have a 9 to 5, it's a great way for you to meet people and possibly look at your purpose and your passion to do something different. It's an international organization, so there are people from all over the world that are a part of this. So you want to check out No More 9 to 5. Click on the link, bit.ly/, no more 9 to the number 2 5. VT, check it out. All right. All right. Well, ladies, we got 4 minutes. And you know the debate is coming on tonight, and I do not want to miss it. And so I'm going to give each of you a few minutes, and then we're going to close out. I appreciate you coming, and I'm telling you, I'm saying again, check out this conference that's coming up. You do not want to miss it. If you know of companies, leaders, executives that can benefit from this, and I'm getting ready to do an email blast to get some companies to send some representatives so that they can get some of this. Okay. Yes. All right. I'm going to be quiet. I'm giving each of you just a minute or two to share your final words, and then I'm going to say good night. We'll see you on Thursday. God bless you all, and thank you for watching my show. And please support the Vera Thomas Show. Support us. You can support us by doing a review on Facebook, Google, Apple. You can support us by donating to help us continue with the work that we're doing. So your donations matter. And so I'm asking you, you can go to Cash App and $ in Still Great, Venmo at BT1117, or Zelle Vera Thomas Show 1117 at gmail.com. Your support is needed and appreciated. Thank you very much. All right. So, Drocella, I'm going to give you the last word since this is your summit.
Excellent. Well, I'll just hop in really quick. Vera, thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm excited about that. So I'm honored to be here. And Drocella, thank you for having me be a speaker at the summit that everyone needs to be going to, the Employee Retention Revolution. I will be there speaking about leveraging behavioral insights to increase your employee retention. There'll be 3 main things, which are behavioral self-awareness, behavioral alignment, and behavioral diversity. So using scientifically based tools and behavioral insights as part of your company's culture, a part of their strategy. And ultimately, with this information, you can increase your productivity by 70%, your employee engagement by 40%, and your client engagement by 23% when you create behaviorally smart teams. So I'm excited to talk to you about that. I'll see you at the summit. Make sure you invite all your HR directors, your leadership development, your C-suite, and people who are making decisions at organizations and trying to figure out how to build these amazing cultures. We have the answers for you. So I will see you there. I'm Kenyatta Turner, CEO and founder of Freedom Empire Consulting. You can find me on all the social media platforms under Freedom Empire Consulting or Kenyatta Turner. And lastly, I like to say to know yourself and others, you must first sacrifice the illusion that you already do. So check out #Behavior Matters, and I hope to see you there.
Love it.
Vera, I wanted to thank you and Kenyatta and all the speakers who accepted to be part of this summit. For you listeners and those one who will replay this show, I thank you, and I want to give you this message. I have my personal quote I like is, if you don't invest, you don't harvest. If you are not investing in your team, you are losing money on the table. Team, know what your leaders and supervisors want, because the way you keep moving and thriving is to support and championing each other. And as a diversity trust builder, I want to say that trust the people you lead and trust your supervisor, because without trust, without a community, there is no championship. I believe in you, and I will meet you at the summit, which is on September 18th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, Vera.
Thank you. And God bless you all. And we'll see you next week. If you guys could hold on for a minute, I would appreciate it. Bye-bye.
The Vera Time Show.